Hello, good evening, and welcome to today's program. My name is Tunde Disu, and this is Become a Better Man, Part 48. Become a Better Man, Part 48. Thank you so much for being part of this program all throughout last year. This is our uh, our entry into the new year 2018. And like I said last week, 2018 is going to be one of those years that we will all have to pull up our socks, tighten our belts, because we're going to really stretch ourselves in different directions and try to really bring up the best out of one another as we walk through this year. It is definitely going to be a year that we will all live to remember. There are so many things that we've already planned and put together for this year. Ogunde Koro, Timi Abolanle, thank you for joining us. Oluyemi Oloyede, thank you so much, all of you, for being part of this program. As you are joining, please go ahead and click the share button so that we can get into the groove for today. Last week, we started looking at a special topic. We started looking at the issue of gratitude. We started by looking at understanding the discipline of gratitude. Understanding the discipline of gratitude. Michael Dick, Ade Boy, thank you all of you for joining me. You're very welcome. And so last week we looked at what exactly is gratitude. What is gratitude? And one of the things we said was gratitude is the affirmation of the good things that are in our lives. What do I mean by that? When you look around your life, when you look around yourself, when you look around your family, your career, your health, your situation in life, your finance, you can see the goodness of God in all these areas. You look at your children, your grandchildren, if you have some, and you can truly say God has been good to you. Somebody once said, if a man can think, he will have cause to give glory to God and give thanks for all the good things in his life. So gratitude is an affirmation, the recognition, the appreciation of the fact that, yes, you may not be where you want to be, but you are not where you used to be. Count your blessings, name them one by one, and say how good God and people have been to you in your life. So gratitude is the affirmation, the recognition, the visualization of the good things in your life. But more than that, it is also the recognition of the fact that all these good things that are in your life and in my life, they were not there. They're not there just because of what you and I have been able to do within our power, within our intelligence, within our ability, within our know-how. The fact is, majority of the good things in our lives, they are a result of things that are completely, totally, ultimately outside the confine of your ability and my ability. And that is why it is, in my opinion, difficult for anybody to classify himself or herself as a self-made man or a self-made woman. Because the reality is, number one, no man is an island. Even the most introvert person cannot live by themselves, on themselves, with themselves for a long time. You will almost go insane. So when you look at your life and you see the good things that are in your life, you also need to recognize the fact that this is not down to just me. Not I, myself, and me, myself, and I. There is the divine part. What God has done, the ability God has given you, the knowledge, the intelligence, the ability for all your faculties to function properly, the ability for you to even wake up this morning, the ability to know your name, to stand up and know who you are, to be able to recognize your wife, your husband, your children, to be able to step out of your house and get into your car. All those things are part of what has made you to be who you are. And most of them are outside of what you can do for yourself. We don't even want to talk about your parents, your teachers, your friends, your colleagues, your employer, the government, and so many other things in our life. So when you look at your life and I look at my life, we have no reason but to give glory and thanks to God and to the people that God has put in our lives, who in their own different ways have made our lives worth what it is right now. The basic gratitude we said last week is the, you know, when people say, oh, thank you, well done, oh, that's really good, I appreciate you. Those are basic demonstration of gratitude. There is nothing wrong in them. In fact, they are necessary. They are so important that if you miss them, people can almost get on you for it. But you see, those are basic passive ways of evoking gratitude. But when we talk about the discipline of gratitude, it becomes a mindset, it becomes a lifestyle, it becomes a choice, something that you do intentionally, something that you do deliberately, something that you go out of your way to make sure that in all situations, in all circumstances, you show gratitude, you demonstrate gratitude, you receive and you give gratitude. It is not dependent on the condition. Like I said, it's a mindset. The Bible talks about, if you are up to me, I will live in peace with all men. It's not about what they've done or what they have not done. It's not about how they behave or how they have not behaved. I have chosen that if it's up to me, I will live with all men in peace. And that is the mindset that you must bring into play as far as gratitude is concerned. Gratitude is not something you wait for. No, you don't wait for gratitude. You don't wait for it. You pursue it. You go after it with all you've got, both to give and to receive. Because when we talk of gratitude, a lot of people immediately zero it down to giving gratitude, which is great. But there is the other side of it, which is you also having the ability to receive gratitude. And what I said is the two, both giving and receiving of gratitude, the connection between them is humility. Unless you have humility to give, you will not have the humility to receive. Unless you have the humility to receive, you will not have the humility to give. I remember there's a proverb in Yoruba that says, if you think this thing is too small to give, then you are tight-fisted. But if you think this thing is too small to receive, then you are a thief. So as you can see, the connection, the link between the giving and the receiving of gratitude is humility. And also last week we looked at what are the purpose of gratitude. It's almost talking about the importance of gratitude. What are the benefits of gratitude? What are the advantages of gratitude? And we looked at five points. We said gratitude leads to an overall state of happiness and well-being. When you are a grateful person, you are immediately a happy person, because gratitude stems from a heart of joy, of love, of peace. And because that is your disposition, the Bible talks about a merry heart is like medicine to the body. When you are happy, when you are grateful, you have no choice but to be happy. You have no choice to live well. Also, we said gratitude is an eye-opener. Gratitude is an eye-opener. What do I mean by that? It is so easy. In fact, it is almost a default for human beings, for us to default to what is not working. Even though we may have hundreds and tons of other things that are working, that are doing well. And then we have one or two that are seemingly not working, at least to our expectations. Naturally, what we tend to do is to default and to relate and to recount and to make those few things that are not working, to make them the core of our being, at the neglect of all that are working. But what gratitude does is it opens your eyes to have the right perspective to life and to the things around you. It helps you to see that, yes, these two may not be working, but look at all these hundreds that are doing great and are working in your life. Another thing we said was gratitude will help you to develop a virtuous character, a character that is virtuous, that is exemplary, that is honoring, that is of becoming ability or character traits. Gratitude will help you to develop that. Also, gratitude puts you in a good relationship with others. You see, again, it's a natural phenomenon that when somebody is good to you, you naturally defer to them. You naturally bend towards them. You naturally want to be in their company. You naturally want to hang out with them. Those are some of the things that gratitude will do to you. And finally, we said gratitude will lead to service. And that service will start a chain reaction whereby people will start paying it forward. But it starts with one person expressing a genuine, heartfelt gratitude for what has been done to them. So as you can see, what we covered last week was virtually the foundation to all that we're going to do today and most probably next week. So on today's program, we're going to be looking at if gratitude, if all these that we have enumerated, all this that we have said, if those are the benefits that will accrue out of gratitude, then the question is, why do we struggle with it? Rita, you're very welcome. Tom Ademoagun, you're very welcome. Sister Katie Moideme, thank you, ma. I appreciate you. Thank you for being part of the program. Gratitude is a virtue that a lot of us, we revere, we almost worship, we long after. And yet, it is the virtue, it is the character virtue that is most deserted. It is the ornament of rhetorics and the libel of practical life, according to J.W. Forney. Gratitude is something that we long for, we want, we desire, we like to have. And at the same time, gratitude is the one that we don't even pay attention to. We don't give it when it is given to us. We become I'm shy. Oh, no, it is God. Though. Yeah, it is God. But God has used you to be a blessing. So when the people that you have been a blessing to, when they come back to say thank you, it is not out of place for you to receive their attempt or willingness or commitment or demonstration of being grateful. I'll give you an example. A survey was done, and in this survey, a lot of people were asked about gratitude. 90% of the people that responded in the survey said they agreed that gratitude makes you happier and gives you a more fulfilled sense in life. 90% of the people that responded to this survey said gratitude will make you happy and will give you a sense of fulfillment in life. These same people were then asked, do you practice gratitude? Less than half of those 90% actually practices gratitude. Ebenezer Daniels, thank you. Rita Ray George, thank you. I appreciate all of you. Please let's click the share button and let's share this program. So imagine 90% acknowledge the fact that there is benefit in gratitude. It makes you happy. It makes you feel fulfilled. But yet they don't practice it. The question that raises in my heart, in my mind is, why? If you know this thing is good for you, if you know the benefits of this thing, why do we not practice it? Because when you consider, for instance, all the benefits and the advantages we've just listed, it begs the question, why do we struggle to develop, to express, to give, and to receive this virtue of gratitude? Why? Why? And I want to extend this to all of you out there that are watching this program. And I'm asking you, in your life, you as a human being, you love gratitude, either to give or to receive. But the truth is, most of us don't do it. Most of us shy away from it. Most of us would rather not give it or mostly not receive it. The question is why? Can you, in your own word tonight, just write something on this program to tell me what is your reason, maybe one or two reasons why you struggle to give or receive gratitude? All of you out there, I'd like to hear your views because as I was preparing for this program, I was asking myself that same question. That why is it that we like it, but we don't give it? We want it, but we don't receive it when it's given to us. Why? So please let me know what your reason is, why you struggle to demonstrate either in the giving or in the receiving of gratitude. And while you are doing that, I am going to quickly look at some of the obstacles, some of the road bumps and the hurdles that are stopping a lot of us from demonstrating this virtue of gratitude. Hope Monday Ekanem, thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Aderonke Adelowo, you are very welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Please, let's quickly click the share button so that it can register on your timeline. You may want to listen to this again after today. So I'm waiting for you to tell me why you struggle with gratitude. I just want some examples. So let's make this as interactive as possible. Give me one or two things or one or two reasons or one or two ideas why you think people struggle with gratitude. And as you're doing that, I am going to quickly roll out one or two of the ones that I have here in my study note. One of the reasons why people struggle as far as gratitude is concerned, either in the giving or in the receiving, is a natural inclination that we have as human beings to focus on the negative over the positives in our lives. We struggle to give, to receive gratitude because there is the inner tendency, there is the almost a default button in us as human beings to default, to focus more and relate more and to see and appreciate, not even appreciate, but to see and relate more to what it is not working versus the so many things that are working. Paul Stewart, thank you, sir. I appreciate you for being part of the program. There's a natural tendency, there's an ingrained penchant for amongst us as human beings to see what is not working over what is working. And because we are consumed and focused and completely locked into the negatives, we don't see the reason to be grateful because all we can see is what's not working. You know, there's the old saying that if you give some people, if you give them a bunch of roses, all they can see is the thorns that are on the stem. not the beauty of the roses, not the fragrance that the rose is giving, not even the delicate arrangement that has gone into the bouquet of roses. All they can see is, oh, why has it got so many thorns on it? And that is one of the reasons why people struggle to relate or to embrace gratitude. Now, some of that also has to do with some of what our great-great-great-grandfathers and grandparents, they have transferred onto us. The reason I'm saying that is, in those days, in the primitive, in the golden old age, a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, survival is the key. Survival is the only thing that matters. So to them, a lot of things may be going on, but they are so alert, they are so conscious of the fact that a wild animal could just attack any of their families. They are so conscious of the fact that a strange illness could just come into the camp. They are so aware of all the dangers that are around them that they cannot see the good things that are going on. Now, the downside to that is, in your life and in my life today, we don't have issues with a wild animal coming out of somewhere and devour somebody. Most of the diseases that human beings have experienced, we now have cures for them, or preventions for them, or even good treatment for them. So those issues that they had to face, we're not facing that right now. So as much as I want to almost give the liberty that we inherited this from our forefathers and parents, the current situation of where we are as a society in this modern age defeats that argument, because what they faced then is no longer what we are dealing with right now. Thank you, Rita. Rita said one of the reasons why people struggle with gratitude is because they are not satisfactory. The sense of unsatisfactory is one of the reasons why people struggle with gratitude. Femi Joshua, thank you, sir, for joining us. So when you look at where we are right now as people, the things that our grandparents and forefathers, they dealt with, that put them in a state of constantly looking for where the danger is and trying to prevent it, which robs them of enjoying the good things in their lives. We don't have that. You can, at this time of the day, you can still live where you are now and travel to the other side of the world, and you don't have issues at all. You can sleep virtually in most places and leave your front door open. Nothing will happen. If anything happens, there is the police, there is the insurance, there is the firefighters, there is this and that will come around. So we really don't have the issues they had. So this natural inclination to focus on the negative is something that you and I will need to address in our lives, so that we can, at least for once, maybe for the first time, understand and enjoy and relate on the basis of being grateful. The second reason why why most people can't handle, or another hurdle or obstacle that stop people from practicing and embracing gratitude, is what I call the phenomenon of adaptation or habituation. What do I mean by that? Say, for instance, you've just bought a new car. I thought you would say amen to that. Say you've just bought a brand new car. Guess what will happen? That car becomes almost an idol that you worship. You clean it, you dust it, you check it, you start it, you check the door, every day you are wiping the snow away, every time you are cleaning the tire, every time you are checking this. And because it's so new, it's like when you first fall in love with your spouse, if you are married or you are in a relationship. all you can think of is that person. All you can see is that person. There is nothing that is out of kill in that person. You like the way they talk, you like the way they sleep, you like the way they eat, you like the way they walk, they like the way they dress, their hair is what you want, her shoes is what you love. Everything about that person is what you want. While these novel pleasures of new acquisition, why it gives you that initial, like they say, sweep you off your feet, as it were. There is a rush of satisfaction because now this is this thing that you've been believing for, you've been longing to have. Now you've got it and you are happy and you are joyful and all of that. But as time goes on, you get used to having it. You get used to seeing it all the time. You get used to seeing it. You get used to being around it. And gradually, that initial leap of joy, that initial satisfaction, that initial sense of achievement, sense of arrival, it just kind of started to wane. It started to kind of dull out. You start to now see, this car, oh, it's the seat is not comfortable. Oh, this car, or this dog, or this whatever it is that you are infatuated with at the beginning. It's the same thing even in a marriage situation. When you are dating, when you are courting, or when you are newly married, there is nothing in this world that person can do wrong, because you are consumed by that initial rush of satisfaction. Give it some time, and suddenly, now she doesn't know how to cook. Now he doesn't know how to talk. Now, and before you know it, that initial joy of being in the presence of that person, of being with that person, that initial joy is now waned, and time, familiarity, and being in the proximity of that person, of that thing, it wears out that joy. And before you know it, all you can see is the bad, the negative, the not good, the shortcomings, and gradually the reason for you for your heart to live for joy and be grateful, they're not there anymore. You stop to register all the ways the new person, the new thing, the new love, the new acquisition, all the way it used to add value to your life, now it's no longer there. So because of this natural tendency to take things for granted because they are close to us, to now not pay attention, not focus on them, it wears out the need for us to be grateful for what those things are, or what that person is to us and in our lives. I'm still waiting for your reason why you think a lot of people don't appreciate or don't give or receive gratitude. I've had one from Rita. She said it's because people are unsatisfactory. The third reason why a lot of people don't give or receive gratitude, or the third obstacle to the practicing of gratitude, is our lives have become too busy. There are so many distractions in our lives. There are so many things now that are competing for your time, for your attention, for your focus, for everything around you is like me. And because of that, the time to sit back and appreciate what is right in front of you is almost not there. We are too busy for ourselves. We're too busy to even notice what is right underneath our nose. And sometimes, I don't know if this has happened to you, and it has happened to me on several occasions, where, for instance, you're just walking down the street or in the office area or at church or whatever, and you see somebody coming towards you, and immediately you say, oh yeah, I need to really give this person a good greeting and just love on them and share, have a small talk with them and this and that. And you're already thinking in your mind what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and all of that. But as that person gets closer and closer and closer to you, your mind just goes blank. You walk past them as if they were never there, and you continued on your journey. And maybe half an hour later, bang, you suddenly remember, oh, I was going to say hello to John. How did I miss that? Oh my goodness. Now, the sense of guilt immediately, oh, maybe he's thinking now I just didn't want to say hello to him. Or maybe because it's that conversation we had last week. Or maybe it's this. And you start to find reasons why John will be thinking you are avoiding him. When in actual fact, it is the fact that your mind is in so many things, in so many places at the same time. We are easily distracted these days. The phone is ringing. Facebook is clicking. Twitter is tweeting. WhatsApp is WhatsApping. iPhone is going. iPad is going. Every other party, everything is happening in our lives. Your wife, your children, your boss, your neighbor, your friends, your colleagues, your parents, your brothers, the whole place is like a spaghetti junction. Everything is all lumped into one. So this sense of being too busy, this tendency for us to be easily distracted is another reason why we don't express gratitude, why we don't appreciate, why we don't give or receive appreciation, because we are just too busy with other things. Our minds are easily being dragged away with other things that are competing for your attention and for my attention. I don't know if this is resonating with anybody, because I know, especially this one, I know I've been there, I've experienced it, and then you're thinking, oh, shall I call him? Oh, but then it's too late now. What do I be saying? Do I need to apologize? I can't be apologizing all the time. I mean, I should have said hello to him, at least just wave at him, or at least I could have said, and on and on. And what tends to happen is you start to beat yourself up. You start to beat yourself up and condemn yourself. But the reality is the other person may not even think along the line of everything you are thinking. So busyness and distractions are another obstacle that stops us from expressing, from giving and receiving gratitude. Another thing that destroys gratitude, another thing that another obstacle or hurdle or venom that destroys gratitude is envy. Envy. Envy is one of the 7 deadly sins according to the Bible. Prince Adedakwararome, Westbourne Friday or the Wingway. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining me on this program. Please, if you have not shared it, click your share button now. I appreciate you for that. Envy is another thing that destroys gratitude. What is envy? What is envy? Envy is a feeling of discontentment. It's a feeling of being resentful. It's a longing aroused by someone else's possession, or their qualities, or their status, or their person, and you start to wonder, why is it happening for him and not for me? Envy stops you from giving and receiving gratitude. Envy destroys gratitude. It shatters gratitude. It grinds it into powder. You know why? It is hard to be happy. Listen to this. It is hard to be happy with what you have, with where you are, with your status in life, with what you are dealing with, or the current situation in your life. It is hard to be happy when all you can do is to see what other people have and ask, why? How come I can have it? How come I don't have it? How come they're the one having it? It erodes the value of what you have when all you can see, all your effort, all your focus, all your mind is attached to what somebody else has got, where somebody else is, what is happening in somebody else's life. Everybody is struggling to be like the Jones. Even the Jones are tired. That is why a lot of people spend a lot of money they don't have to buy things they don't need, to impress people that don't even care, and they end up in debt, which they cannot pay. Because suddenly your next door neighbor has just bought his new car. I mean, this is January, and this guy has gone out and bought a brand new Jaguar. And then you start to struggle. You must also buy a new car. You must change your car. Even though your car is still very good, it's almost new. Even if it's not new, it's taking you out and bringing you back in. But just because you are so envious of what your friend or your neighbor has, now you cannot even rejoice with them for what they have, because you have to also have it. Why should they be the one having it? Why can't it be you? Envy destroys gratitude. When all it is like other people have better things than you. Especially in this day and age where, thank God for Facebook, people can now flaunt what they have on Facebook and make you more angry if you are that way inclined. Make you wonder, why is it happening in their lives and not in mine? Envy is one of the most potent cause of unhappiness, because it stems from a heart that lacks the discipline of gratitude. When you look at people who are sour, who are sad, who are just bitter in their life, people who live and breathe and are green with envy, when you look at their lives, they are sad people. Not because they don't have something good in their lives. It's because they are envious of what other people have. Thank you, Michael. Michael said one of the reasons people struggle with gratitude is because they are running after vanity. Vanity. Running after what is not there. Chasing shadow. Guess what? You get shadow, and then you realize the owner of the shadow is walked away, and the shadow is left with that person. And you are left empty-handed. Meanwhile, you spend the last 3 months trying to grab hold of that shadow. Kenny Disu, thank you for joining us. So envy is another obstacle or another reason why people struggle with gratitude. Another reason why people struggle with gratitude is the brother of envy, which is pride. Thank you, Darren Holstock. Appreciate you, sir. Pride is another reason why people struggle with gratitude, why people can't give it or cannot receive it. Pride. Remember, I said at the beginning, when we define gratitude as the affirmation of the good things in your life and the appreciation of the fact that it is not down to just you, it's because of the God in your life and the people God has put around you and within you to help you be and have what you have. And I said the link, the connection between the two is humility. Pride is the opposite of humility. When you are prideful, there's a difference between being proud and being prideful. You can be proud of your achievement. Pride is now beating your chest to say, look at me, I am it. I am the in thing. Pride is the inability, listen to this carefully, the inability to admit dependency on anything or anyone is pride. The inability to admit that what you have, where you are in life, everything about you, there could just be a slimmer, a glimmer of hope that somebody has contributed to it, that somebody has added some values to you, that somebody has gave you the advantage, that somebody has actually worked for you and put things in place for you to have what you have. When you are unable to admit the dependency or the addition or the added value of other people and other things to who you are and what you are, you're a pride person. You are full of pride. You know why? Because the admission of dependency in itself, it makes you cringe to admit that I'm not all of that. There are other things and other people in my life that has helped me and brought me to this. That makes you cringe and hurts your pride. See, people generally, we prefer some phrases like self-made man, self-made woman. I have the autonomy. I am independent. I am self-reliant. I am my own man. I am my own woman. I made myself. All those. Even though there could be some element of truth, because you can't be what you are without your own contribution. But the reality is, when you break it down to the minute segment, you will realize that your contribution is so tiny in the general scheme of things when you look at the contributions from other people, from other things, and from God. So pride is because you always feel, I did it my way. I made myself what I am. I have what I have because of myself. You don't see the reason to be grateful. You don't see the reason to show gratitude. You don't see the reason to be thankful. You can't see what to thank who? Who? I'm a self-made man. I made myself. Pride will rob you of the blessing and the advantages of living a life of gratitude. Humans are interdependent, ladies and gentlemen. No man is an island. You cannot live on and by yourself. Not even on the Isle of Patmos. You will need something else outside of yourself to make you and help you have and be what you have and be what you are. Being less grateful doesn't make you less dependent. I need you to hear this. Just because you are less grateful does not make you less dependent. It just makes you more delusional, and it robs you of the benefit that gratitude brings. Yes, you can say I made myself. I mean, look at me. I achieved this. I have that. I started that. I built that. I did that. I have that. They're great. Yes, it can make you less dependent, but the truth is, it also makes you more foolish. in the eyes of reality. Because when you break it down, there is more to who and what you are than yourself. There's nothing wrong in taking a healthy satisfaction in the things that you have done and you have achieved and you have accumulated and all of that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you need to recognize that in all of that, there are other hands, other involvement, other contributions to what make you who you are. We all are standing on the edifice built by those who came before us. Imagine if all those people never fought in the First and the Second World War, we would not have the peace that we're enjoying today. Just imagine that. If people who, for instance, the Wright brothers and all those people that tried to invent aeroplane, if they never paid the price, if they never went through and put everything they had on the line, where would we be today without the ability to travel by air in an aeroplane? Imagine the person that spent hours and days and years in the laboratory trying to find the vaccine for polio, for chickenpox, for measles, for cholera. Imagine if they never did all of that. Would you still be your self-made person when you could have died of cholera or polio or measles or chickenpox? You see, there are so many things that when you look at it, it forces you to put on a coat of humility. Michael said, I was looking at a material made from 100% cotton. It dawned on me that God was gracious to give life to the plants that made cotton, the wisdom from above to plant and harvest the cotton and process it. Look at that trajectory. All you see is, this is my nice suit. But then, your nice suit didn't just fall down from the air. It started with somebody. It started with God giving the seed called cotton. Now somebody picked up that seed, planted it, nurtured it, harvested it, did all the processes that were involved before you can pay this 2,500 pound suit that you are wearing now. So before you start to show off your 2,500 pound suit, remember, it didn't just happen. There was a trajectory. There was a process. There were other things and other people involved. One of these, while we're talking about this, one of the reality TV shows that I don't really have time for at all is the Celebrity Big Brothers in the jungle. Because in my opinion, anyway, that's my opinion. Don't let me put that on you. But as I was preparing for this program, it struck me that maybe it was a good idea for all these celebrities to maybe for the only time in their lives experience what it means to be human again, because some of them are like superhuman. By taking them into that jungle where they are stripped completely of every trimmings of celebrities and elegance and fame and glamour and paparazzi and everything, when it is just them and nature. In my opinion, for most of them, what they take away is that realization that whatever you think you have in LA, in London, in Paris, in Tokyo, Japan, or wherever you are as a celebrity, when those things are stripped away from you, you are just another human being. And therefore, when they come out of the jungle, most of them have a sober judgment of what life is really all about. And most of them, for the first time, for some, start to appreciate what they have and not take it for granted. They start to appreciate the people that God has put around them, the opportunities that God has opened before them, the privilege and the benefit that they have been enjoying in their status as celebrities, because now the reality of what it takes to be a human being has dawned on them. The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, we have more in our current state of being. In our lives today, we have more than what we all need. There is more to you and to me than what you need and what I need. But yet we feel entitled to a life that's even better. There's something wrong with that. The challenge is, because of that sense, that mentality of entitlement, it has brought us to a point where we see more of negativity in the world around us, in our lives and around us, and has led us to always constantly complaining rather than appreciating and giving glory and gratitude for the positive things in our lives. So one of the challenges that you and I have to contend with, especially in this year, is to develop a genuine mindset of gratitude and to silence every voice, every part of you that wants to rise up and claim entitlement. Because as you do that, your feet will be on the ground, flat on the ground, and you will appreciate what is in your life. Another reason why people struggle with gratitude is wrong expectations. Wrong expectations. You see, expectations in themselves, there's nothing wrong in expectations. Gratitude, Michael said, is important for a balanced life. There is nothing wrong in expectation. For instance, there's nothing wrong in you expecting your friend, your colleague, your family to treat you good because you have also treated them good. There's nothing wrong in you, for instance, to expect something good to happen to you because you have done good as well. There is nothing wrong in expectation. Where the challenge is this, ladies and gentlemen. When those expectations, when they turn into entitlement, that is where the issue is. There's nothing wrong with expectations. For instance, I expect that if I go into Sainsbury's today and I pick the groceries on the store, when I get to the checkout, I expect the lady there to scan each one of them, or the young man there to scan each one of them, tell me how much it is, I pay for it, I collect my goods, and I walk away. There's nothing wrong with that expectation. Where it gets into trouble is when my expectation now becomes an entitlement, where I think once I come into the store, then the store, because I'm going to give them my money anyway, they should have somebody waiting by the door who will take my list and go and do my shopping and bring it out and take it to my car and drive me to the house and cook the food and feed me. Once it gets to that point of entitlement mentality, there is trouble. There is trouble. The reality is this, ladies and gentlemen. No one is under any obligation to say thank you. Oh yes, I said it. No one is under any obligation to say thank you for acts and services that fall below normal expectation. If the service that you receive is below expectation, yeah, you may not want to say thank you. But even when an expectation is fulfilled and it's just done just to the bare minimum and doesn't get to the standard or above standard, we still feel the sense of gratitude just for the act of doing what that thing is. The truth is this: whatever is being done is not, how can I put it? It's a gift. It's not an entitlement. Your life is a gift. My life is a gift. It's not an entitlement. Because God gave it freely. You can't then say, well, I want to take 2 times the quantity of oxygen because I'm entitled to it. Where did that come from? Let me give you another example. Maybe that will make it clear. Husband and wife. In your house, you have divided the house chores. Who will do this? Who will do that? Who will do it? And everybody is carrying out their own duties diligently and peacefully. Then the question is, must you still say thank you to your wife when she cooks your dinner and serves you? Even though it's something that is within her own chores to do in the house. Should you still, as husband, after you've sat there and you've had a good meal and you've enjoyed it and you've wiped your mouth, should you still say thank you, even though she's only doing what she's expected to do? Should you say thank you to the husband after he's gone to work and is back and he's paid the bills and look after this and take care of that? Must you, because after all, that's his responsibility. Should you still say thank you? I'm asking. I want an answer. Do you think that your wife that has taken the time to do the cooking, to make sure the food is cooked and right and serve you and do that, do you think she has earned your thank you, even though after all that's part of what she does? Does your husband still deserve a thank you after he's gone to work and pay the bills and do this and do? Should you still go and say thank you for what they've done? The answer is yes. Because even though you could have said, oh, well, that is what they are expected to do, that is what they should do, we're talking about wrong expectations here. Just because it's an expectation, it's not an entitlement. It is a gift at the end of the day. It is a gift, and that is why you should say thank you. You see, it's the little things in life that are worthy of gratitude. And sometimes because they are very little, because they are minute, because they are almost taken for granted, we just overlook them. But yet, those are the things in life that are worthy of appreciation, that are worthy of showing gratitude, that are worthy of acknowledging and not taking for granted. You see, once you start practicing the discipline of gratitude, you will realize that you are never wholly entitled to anything, either material, emotional, whatever. You are never entitled to anything. Once you realize that life doesn't owe you anything, everything will be seen as a gift, and therefore you will have no choice but to be grateful, to show gratitude for the gifts that life has handed over to you. Gratitude doesn't just happen, ladies and gentlemen. gratitude will not fall on you. Gratitude does not just happen. It is a habit. That is why we say it's a discipline. It is a habit. It's a choice that you and I must take, must make. And it starts with us having a right thinking pattern, having a right relationship with what is in our lives, in our environment, what is within us, what is about us. It's not an entitlement. It's a gift. And the moment you start seeing it as a gift, the moment you start relating it as an advantage that has been extended to you, you will start to readjust your mindset to the point where you don't see the negatives. You focus on the positive. Where you don't see the shortcomings, you appreciate the effort. Where you don't see the inabilities, you rally around just the thought of it. Just the mere you thinking about me to do me good is enough for me to say thank you. And if you have noticed on this program, I'm making a point of duty that I will not close this program without taking my time to appreciate yourself, your time, your commitment, your effort. One of the greatest things that people can do to you and for you in life is to give you audience. And so when every week we come together like this, I will never take it for granted, because I know there are other things you could be doing with your time. There are other places you could be. There are other things that could be that you have left undone just to be on this program. And that is why I am eternally grateful to each and every one of you. It is not a right. Just because I'm sitting in front of a camera doesn't mean you have to be there. But it is a gift, and I honor it. It's a gift, and I appreciate it. It's a gift, and I value it with everything in my body. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great time spending time with you today. I have hopefully somehow said something tonight that has registered with you, especially considering the topic that we're dealing with. This issue of gratitude is something that, like I said earlier on, we all want it, we desire it, but we don't really do it. My challenge to you is make it a point of duty. Make a conscious decision right now that you will appreciate and show gratitude for everything and everyone around and about you. Just wake up in the morning and say thank you for a new day. Say thank you to your spouse. Say thank you to your children. Say thank you to God. Say thank you to everything and anything around you. Because in so doing, you are opening the door for more to be poured into your life. I hope this has been a blessing to you. I appreciate you. I honor you. I thank you for your time. I am so grateful for the effort and the commitment that you have all made and are still making to be part of this program. My promise to you is that I will never take it for granted. I will always be appreciative of your effort and commitment to this program. Like I said last week, in February, this program will be exactly 1 year old. 1 year old. And so we are planning to have a special get-together, a special time together where we can look back at what the year has been, how much we have learned, what we have gained, and also unveil some of the things that will be happening in 2018 and going forward. So, get yourself ready. Again, if you have any idea, drop us a line. Let us know what you think we can do. to really bring it together that we've been together for 52 weeks. Imagine that. God has been good to us. And we have been good one to another. And for that, I am eternally grateful. Next week, we are still continuing on this topic. But next week, we're going to be looking at how to practically demonstrate the discipline of gratitude. How to express it. There are various ways by which you can express gratitude. And as the moment you start introducing these new ways that we're going to cover next week into your life, the people around you, the benefactors of your gratefulness, they will have no choice but to pay it forward, spread it around. And you know what they say? What goes round, they do come round. You will soon be a benefactor as well. Thank you for your time. I honor you, appreciate you. And remember, there is no stopping us. We refuse to stop, to be delayed, to be derailed, to be discouraged, because we have a purpose. We have a destination. We are people we are carriers of destiny. We have a whole new land to take that we refuse to settle in Lodebar when our place is in the palace. So that when we arrive in our royal robes, when we arrive in majesty, when we arrive with all pomp and pageantry, everyone and anyone around will have no choice but to say, surely, these are the blessed. These are better men and better women. So until next week when we meet again, this is Tunde Disu saying, God bless you. Have a wonderful week. And I'll see you next week on this platform. Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.